Today's prompt is lantern. I think this is gonna be the first prompt where I approach it pretty literally because I'm gonna make some lanterns. And I'm excited. I'm looking over to my left because I'm gonna go through all my bits and I can show you all of my bits boxes that I've curated over the years. Let's get started. One thing I love to use is this acrylic tray. This is my newest addition. Thank you, Aunt Deb. This is now the second shout out you've gotten in one of these videos. I love it when I'm building things. So I have all of this material. I have tons of bits in those boxes, tons of bits there. I also have more bits here, and please ignore the mess. I need to work on a better storage solution. The point is, your girl's got a lot of bits. And I'm trying to keep it organized, but it is difficult in this studio space that I have, which is not the biggest. So I like to bring a tray with me to my stores and put all the bits that I'm potentially going to use on the tray. That way I can easily move this to my desk and then put everything on this tray away if I don't use it. I know this is not revolutionary, but it's very helpful for me. So let's start going through some bits. Do think I'll need some of these Heishi beads. I love these. I'm sure if you're a crafter, this is not looking weird to you at all, but I generally am not in the habit of having my surfaces be quite so disgusting looking. This is strictly paint and glue. This is my old workspace. Now I work over here. Very fancy. Now these are not lanterns, but I think on the topic of like scattered terrain, these could be really cool. I made these little bottles for a Dungeons and Dragons campaign. These are literally just beads and little wooden sticks. And I think they actually could look really cool scattered around the graveyard. I really did like that video. I was really excited about it. So click somewhere on the screen here if you want to check that out. The idea was that it was just a bunch of food and bottles and just a massive feast, tons of different techniques, and you can use it for any sort of little props for different terrain. I used it for a D&D campaign, made a lot of grapes, little sausages, which you can barely see because they're so itty bitty, cheese, breads, fruits, vegetables. It's a great video. Now for this behemoth. So I'm mostly looking for teeny tiny circles that I can stack up to make lanterns. This is perfect. It's really just gonna involve stacking a couple little thin circular bits that I can find, if I can find, with maybe like a glass bead of some kind and another smaller little bits on top, kind of stacking them and making them look like little lanterns. That's kind of how I'm envisioning it anyway. These little like earring backs are gonna work really well. How cute is this little jar of nuts? Next up, yes, I have a lot of bits boxes. This one is one of the first ones I ever put together, actually. I went through like a whole pen drawer and like collected like barrels of pens. I took the inky part out, and now I have all these plastic tubes, which are very useful. Cool, I just found a bunch of old earrings. I think if I have enough of those and I can find a way to make it look good, that's gonna be awesome, because then I can make hopefully a bunch of repeating ones that are like that match. So this is what I'm talking about. This is the back of an earring, so you stick the pointy part through for those who don't know or don't wear earrings. All right, I've shown you all the bits boxes, but what I also have up here is a bunch of beads, more beads there, and I think are probably gonna be where I get the most lantern-y bits. Yeah. Maybe not this boring bead here, but you got something like this. That's a clear bead. Got those little earring backs, and I'm thinking if I kind of stack them, maybe put something on the bottom. All these cool little like metal pieces. I just want to show like how I got here and how my thought process works. I find that kind of stuff helpful. Hopefully you do too, because I like sharing the process with you guys. I feel like even if I was just like, I took this bead and this bead and this piece and made a lantern, it's not as helpful as like kind of spitballing talking about it on camera. Oh, I also will need some sticks for the lamp posts. So for that, I'm gonna go over to this box, wooden sticks and dowels. Ooh, I love this box. This is probably the most organized part of my collection. I don't really know what width I need. This feels like a good width for some lampposts. I have toothpicks. Those could be good too, but they're a little short. Wood acquired. I'm gonna clean up my desk. It's a mess right now. I'm gonna get to making some lanterns. Hopefully these look good. I wasn't recording, but it's okay. I thought I was recording on this camera, but I wasn't. Anyway, let's make some lanterns. I'm gonna start by sort of taking a better inventory of what I have. So I do have a lot of these earring backs, like I mentioned. These tiny little discs. I don't know if I'm going to need these. These other little like types of earring back could also be an interesting little piece, like maybe on the top. I know I have some like little tiny metal rings somewhere, like really small, like for jewelry making. And I didn't see them in my bits boxes though. If I can find those would be really cool. It's like a little hook for the lantern at the very tippity top. Bunch of these just generic craft plastic beads. Also have this little piece. How cool is that? This is like a bead with beads in it. I'm not gonna use this for this, but if you have any ideas for what I could do with this in the sort of diorama or terrain making space, let me know. I'm thinking for sure like gumball machine, right? Maybe some sort of like spooky carnival set piece. Kind of just trying to piece a whole different bits together. See what I get. That's kind of interesting. Something about that little metal piece going inside the bead is giving lantern to me. I don't know why. And that does look pretty cute. Could use this wooden bit instead. It's a similar silhouette. It's just so thick, like wood. I think I must go double earring back. I found those little things I was looking for. These little rings. I think that these are gonna be cool for maybe the tops of the lanterns. We'll see. For those of you who know about masks and stuff, is this a good one? I should do more research, but that's what I got. I didn't glue it up perfectly. But I'll do better on the next ones. I think this looks really cute. I think sometimes just like simple is better. Yeah, this looks pretty good. Okay, I did it. Made as many as I could based on how many earring backs I had. And I dig them. They look so cute. But I am now gonna make a couple little light posts. Oh, I'm also gonna attach these hooks. I'm trying to think how I can do that. Okay, so I've got these poles. That looks about right. And I'm gonna cut it around here. I have so many better tools for this. I'm just lazy. But I shouldn't be, so hold please. This is my angled miter shear. It's probably overkill, so this is on the flip side of things. But it cuts very easily. So I'm gonna cut little posts like this, and I'm gonna add the loop to the lantern, and it's gonna kind of hang. I could do something like that, where it's just like a lamp post. No. 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 Yeah. Hook. Some of them actually have like a bar like this. That might be easier. Yeah, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make 5 posts and then 2 of the lanterns I'll have 2 extra to either scatter about or otherwise not use. I've made the lanterns. They look cute as heck. Haven't decided yet if I'm going to paint them because I feel like these materials look good enough. Like, especially the little bead part, which I already kind of said I liked how that earring back looks through the bead. I'm not sure, so I'm gonna make that decision later on in the Junktober process. I definitely will paint the posts, so I'm not even gonna bother attaching the lanterns to the posts. Whether or not I do end up painting the lights, I probably will still paint them separately because if I do paint them, I'm thinking I'm going to want to spend special attention to like the light part just so I can have an easier time doing that painting if I do decide to paint them. That's going to do it for day 6 of Junktober. I primed up the lanterns with some black Mod Podge, Mod Podge and black paint. And I was originally going to do them some sort of metallic color, but I actually like the black. So what I think I'm going to do is take this metallic sequin black from Folk Art, which, spoiler alert, you haven't seen this yet, but I am going to paint the fencing on the diorama with this same paint. And I think not only does the black just kind of like look nice, but also this will add a little shine to it and it really looks like wrought iron, and that way we can have like these cool old wrought iron clanky kind of lanterns. I'll also paint the insides to look like they're glowing. I'm not the best at OSL. I'm probably gonna just kind of phone it in, but I think it'll look nice. I love doing all these little props and all these tiny little details. I truly cannot wait to glue these in. Thanks for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.